How's everybody doing today? So there's different types of energy drainers. This can be people, this can be your workplace, this could be your environment. And when I say environment, I'm like your local environment and your surrounding environment, whether it's friends and family or the place and the area that you live in can also be an energy drainer. You're surrounded by all different various types of energies, and depending on where you are in your spiritual journey and maybe a little bit of the cosmos and the zodiac, you'll be able to naturally block or receive or give out certain type of frequencies and vibrations to other people, or they come to you. Now, going back to energy drainers, your job can be an energy drainer. Like if you go to work, for instance, you have a sit-down job working in front of a computer. If you work in front of a computer for 8 hours, that can be very draining, especially if you don't like your job. It will exponentially increase that energy drain. When you're not doing your passion or what you're vibrationally meant to do, that whatever circumstance it is will draw that energy out of you. It's very much soul reaping. You know, I hate to get cryptic and pretty dark, but your job and your surroundings can be soul reaping. I've experienced this. I experience it, and I wanted to let you guys know, so you're kind of like aware that it's important for you to do your passion. If your job drains you and you're not really physically exerting very much force, like I'm saying, like hard labor, right? If you're working hard labor out in the sun, that's physically draining. But you can work a job inside of air conditioning where you're not using much muscle at all, and it's completely draining you of your energy. It's not about gravity and force and muscles and ligaments. It's about your chakra systems, how you feel, the people that you're around. Do you have a bad boss that's always nagging at you or micromanaging you, taking your energy away from you? You should never ever be working for a supervisor or a manager that has power over you. When you start being aware of this, you'll find positions in life where you're not being soul reaped of your energy. If you are working at a job, your relationship between your supervisor or boss or manager or whatever should be very, very equal. No one over the top. You work cohesively, and they're not telling you what to do as a power grab. You work hand in hand with them, and you talk to them as if they're equal. And if they say something to you that you dislike, you have a boundary, and you put that boundary there. Say, hey, I don't appreciate that. And they say, oh, well, Brandon, if I did that at my place, I'll get fired. That's because you're in the wrong place. It's very obvious at that point. Because some of you out there that are on your spiritual journey, you either haven't manifested or abundantly just drawn a bunch of money in or whatever, or found a job where you could place yourself in a position where you're not being bossed around. And I understand that, because we've all experienced that. Once you're aware of it, then now you can align yourself into the correct direction. And it'll take great courage to leave that job that you're at in order for that to happen. I think you are extremely and very courageous for believing in the universe and leaving your job in order to find what it is that your true passion and love in life is. And that makes tremendous courage, especially if you have a family. You're raising children. Maybe you are making a lot of money, but you just hate it, and you have all these expenses. Maybe you're you're making a payment on a Mercedes Benz and you just bought a $600,000 house that you're making payments on. But if you leave that high paying job that you hate, you really don't have enough money to like pay for those amenities and your kids' schooling and all that stuff if you left. And so I find that even if you are somewhat rich, that's even more, that I find that just as courageous to leave that position in order to find your passion. Because you have set yourself up in a place where your kids are going to a private school, or you got a brand new car where your old car was like breaking down, and then you bought a brand new Mercedes, and it takes you to work every day because it starts every time you get in it. I understand this, and it takes a tremendous amount of courage to be able to leave that. But that's what you're gonna have to do, because you don't want to be, your soul doesn't want to be, your soul and energy doesn't want to be reaped out of your body, and it takes a toll on you, because I've experienced this. Remember, I'm the king of backpedaling, so it took me a long time to get to a position where I put my boundaries up to where I'm not going to do certain things in my life so I can feel better about myself. Now, some of those things may not be as golden as some other opportunities or whatever, but I feel comfortable doing it, and I'm not showing up in a depressed or angry state every day. Every time I wake up in the morning and head to work. But then the abundance starts coming in, the serendipity starts happening, and then you're able to do whatever you want to do. It will come. You just have to believe that it's there. When you're depressed, you don't want to believe. I know this from personal experience. When you're depressed, you don't want to believe that the abundance and the serendipity and the positive energy can be there, because you're being sledgehammered by negative outcome. But once you let go, you detach from outcome. When you detach from outcome, that sledgehammer all of a sudden falls out of that whatever hand is hitting you with it. It just drops and it vanishes, and that negative force is not there anymore, if that makes any sense. But that's all I wanted to say about that today. I do find you guys very courageous when you follow your passion and your intuition. It takes a lot of bravery to do that. And as always, I greatly appreciate you guys watching my videos, and see you on the next one.